Now you can compare Kawasaki production with the exclusive Ducati Superleggera manufacturing. This is Ducati's headquarters in Borgo Panigale, Bologna, Italy. This year, Ducati employs a total of 2,000 employees. Most of them work inside the factory on the main assembly line. Ducati produces around 50,000 to 60,000 motorcycles per year, depending on market demand and model cycles. Each bike is assembled in a dedicated section of the Ducati factory with highly skilled technicians and bespoke quality control. The Ducati Superleggera is one of the most exclusive and technically advanced motorcycles ever produced by Ducati. It represents the pinnacle of Ducati's engineering, combining ultra-lightweight materials, racing-grade components, and extreme performance. The Ducati Superleggera 1199 was produced in 2014 with a total production volume of 500 units. The Superleggera 1299 followed 2017, also limited to 500 motorcycles. In 2020, Ducati released the Superleggera 54, again producing only 500 units worldwide. These are limited-run single-series models. Ducati announces a specific number of units, produces them, and does not continue beyond that. Production typically occurs over several months to a year, but the figure of 500 is for the entire production run, not annually. Each bike is individually numbered, highlighting its exclusivity, something you can clearly see for yourself right now. These Ducati motorcycles are especially known for their extensive use of lightweight materials. The frame, fairings, and wheels are made of carbon fiber. The engine casings and front subframe are made from magnesium. The exhaust system, fasteners, bolts, and valve train components are made of titanium. The Ducati Superleggera weighs approximately 155 kilograms. These weights are unprecedented for street-legal superbikes. Engine assembly is also special, hand-assembled by specialists. Each engine is tested on a dyno before installation. Ducati uses a modular assembly line, but the Superleggera is handled in a low-volume, high-precision production cell. Each bike is built by a single technician or a small team from start to finish. Tolerances and quality controls are tighter than standard production. Though track-focused, the Superleggera models are street-legal. Undergo rigorous testing, including wind tunnel aerodynamics, towed and track validation, just vibration, thermal, and endurance testing. Buyers can customize elements and are often offered factory tours. Carbon fiber load-bearing frame. First and only homologated street motorcycle with one. Ducati has been based in this Bologna factory since the company's origin in 1926. Ducati's main markets include Italy, Germany, the United States, France, the United Kingdom, and China. Models like the Panigale, Street Fighter, Multistrada, and Monster are assembled here. Super exclusive models like Super Leggera are assembled in dedicated, specialized cells by master technicians. Ducati invests heavily in innovation and performance testing, includes engine dynos, wind tunnel testing, and vibration labs. Engine assembly is performed by hand with precise tolerances, especially for high-performance and racing engines. Each bike undergoes rigorous testing, including dyno runs and leak checks before shipping. This is the manufacturing process of the Ducati Multistrada 1200. It was groundbreaking model for Ducati, blending sport bike DNA with touring and off-road capabilities. Introduced in 2010 and produced through 2017, the Multistrada 1200 played a key role in Ducati's expansion beyond performance street bikes. All Multistrada 1200 models for Europe and North America were assembled in Borgo Panigale factory in Italy. While Ducati does not disclose exact numbers per model year, the Multistrada 1 to 200 series was a high-volume success, estimated 100,000 units of the 1200 series produced globally during its run. This became one of Ducati's best-selling models. Engine assembly, chassis assembly, and final assembly are handled in distinct stages. Trained technicians perform both manual and machine-assisted processes. The Testa Stretta 11th degree engine for this Multistrada is built in-house at Borgo Panigale and is assembled by hand with critical tolerances. Dyno tested before being installed in the bike. Incorporates desmodromic valve actuation, Ducati's signature tech. Trellis frame made of high-tensile steel tubing. The swing arm varies by model, double-sided, standard, or single-sided. Subframes and brackets are made of aluminum. Most parts are sourced from European suppliers, Brembo brakes, Öhlins suspension, Bosch electronics, and Pirelli tires. The Multistrada 1200 helped Ducati appeal to a broader audience, more comfort and practicality. Last year, Ducati delivered 58,000 motorcycles, marking the third best year in its history. Strategically, Ducati targets affluent enthusiasts with cutting-edge tech and Italian design. Suzuki focuses on practicality and affordability across a wide demographic. And Kawasaki offers a versatile mix of performance and innovation at accessible price points. Each brand brings unique strengths. Ducati for luxury and racing dominance, Suzuki for global accessibility and volume, and Kawasaki for balanced value and sporting pedigree, making the choice among them largely dependent on the rider's needs, budget, and preferences. Ducati bikes are significantly more expensive than most Japanese competitors. It's not just the purchase price. Maintenance, servicing, and parts are also costly. Premium components and brand prestige come at a price, which can be a turnoff for the budget-conscious riders. Many Ducati models, especially those with V-twin or V4 engines, it can get extremely hot in city traffic. Riders often complain about uncomfortable engine heat radiating through the seat or tank area during slow speed or stop-and-go riding. Some riders report that certain Ducati models have a snatchy throttle at low speeds, making them harder to manage in traffic or during low-speed maneuvers. Earlier Ducati bikes, particularly those from the 1990s and early 2000s, had a reputation for being less reliable than their Japanese counterparts. While modern Ducatis have become much more reliable, the perception of being temperamental or finicky still lingers for some riders. Now you can see the final assembly and quality control inside this Italian Ducati factory. Due to the smaller number of bikes produced per year, more care is given to the resulting quality than, for example, at Suzuki. And now, for a change, we take a look at the Japanese factory where the legendary road bike is made. The Suzuki Hayabusa, often referred to as the Busa, is one of the most iconic motorcycles in the world, and for good reason. The Suzuki Hayabusa is manufactured in Japan, specifically at Suzuki's Toyokawa plant in Aichi Prefecture. The Hayabusa is known for being one of the fastest production motorcycles ever made. The manufacturing journey begins in the design studio, where ideas take shape through digital modeling. The clay model brings the curves and three-dimensional design to life in a way that cannot be portrayed through diagrams. Parts made by casting and forging are but polished through machining to make finished components for engines. Molten metal is forged into gears, shafts, and other key drivetrain components. Simultaneously, the engine takes form as molten metal is poured into precision molds to create cylinder heads and other critical parts through a high-accuracy casting process. Every piece is crafted with exceptional attention to detail, staying true to Suzuki's commitment to quality. Made in Japan with pride. The frame. The backbone of the Hayabusa is robotically welded for consistent strength and accuracy. It's then coated with anti-corrosion treatment and finished with a sleek top coat of paint. With proper maintenance, it can easily clock over 100,000 miles. The engine is bulletproof, and the overall build quality is excellent. For the fuel tank, steel plates are precisely punched and bent by stamping machines to achieve the tank's distinctive shape. These pieces are then automatically welded to ensure both durability and seamless design. Finally, in the injection molding process, heated plastic is press-formed in metal molds to create the Hayabusa sleek outer shell, including cowls and body panels, ensuring a perfect fit and finish every time. The heart of production begins at the main assembly line at the Suzuki factory, where every component of the Hayabusa comes together to form a complete motorcycle. Amazingly, it takes just 1 day to produce a single Suzuki motorcycle. Yet thanks to the factory's efficiency and precision, thousands are assembled every day. Essential parts like the engine, brakes, fuel tank, instrumentation, seat, and tires are carefully assembled onto the freshly painted frame. Most components are efficiently clamped or bolted into place as each future Hayabusa glides smoothly along sliding tracks on the production floor. Once fully assembled, each bike undergoes a thorough visual inspection to ensure a flawless finish. No scratches, scuffs, or blemishes on the bodywork or seat are acceptable. Next comes a final performance check, where all functions, braking, electrical systems, engine behavior, and more are tested to meet strict quality standards. Only motorcycles that pass every inspection are approved for shipment. Even the color combinations of each Hayabusa are carefully curated, taking weeks of design and review to ensure they align perfectly with the bike's style and Suzuki's brand identity. Before leaving the factory, special tests simulate real-world conditions to assess durability against vibrations, shocks, and drops. Performance and emissions are also tested to comply with international regulations and Suzuki's high internal standards. To ensure unmatched reliability, the Suzuki Hayabusa undergoes extensive testing under a wide range of road conditions, climates, and usage scenarios across the globe. These rigorous tests are conducted repeatedly, pushing the bike to its limits in pursuit of flawless performance. Throughout development, the Hayabusa design and structural integrity are continuously reviewed and refined. Every detail is scrutinized to meet Suzuki's high standards of durability and excellence. Upon its debut, the Hayabusa made headlines worldwide, earning its place as the fastest production motorcycle on the planet, with a breathtaking top speed of 194 miles per hour, which is 312 kilometers per hour. At the heart of the machine lies a finely engineered engine, paired with a 6-speed sequential manual transmission featuring constant mesh timing and a slipper clutch, ensuring smooth gear shifts and precise control, even under aggressive riding conditions. Today, the latest generation is the result of relentless performance testing and engineering refinement, pushing the limits of what's possible on 2 wheels, while staying true to the spirit that made the Hayabusa a legend. A dynamometer, often referred to as a dyno, is a specialized device that allows engineers to test a motorcycle's engine performance under simulated riding conditions, without ever leaving the factory floor. Each completed Hayabusa is rolled into a test booth equipped with a chassis dynamometer. The bike is fired up and run through a series of simulations that mimic real-world riding scenarios, including acceleration, deceleration, and gear changes. The Hayabusa logo is based on the kanji character. The character literally means peregrine falcon, a bird known for being the fastest animal on Earth, capable of diving at speeds over 240 miles per hour, which is 386 kilometers per hour. It has carved out a place in various racing disciplines, including sanctioned road racing, drag racing, and even top-speed competitions, where its power and aerodynamics truly shine. The Suzuki Hayabusa is more than just a high-performance street machine. Many riders have discovered its incredible versatility. From everyday road use to the demands of competitive motorsports, the Hayabusa proves it can do it all. When completed motorcycles are prepared for international shipping, components like mirrors and other external fittings are removed to streamline transport. To ensure they arrive in perfect condition, the motorcycles are thoroughly packaged and protected before being shipped. Each bike is then securely fastened within a metal transport frame, carefully designed to hold all parts in place and prevent movement or damage during transit. Let me know in the comments section if you prefer a Kawasaki, Suzuki, or Ducati.